Welcome to this explainer. Right now, we're in the middle of a massive, urgent paradigm shift. If we want to thrive in this new era of artificial intelligence, we have to move past the little incremental tweaks we've seen over the last couple of years. Today, we're talking about what it actually takes to rebuild an organization from the ground up for the AI era.
To kick things off, just think about this metric for a second. Close to 60% of all human work hours are now, theoretically, automatable. 60%. And look, we aren't just talking about basic data entry here. Because of the recent massive leaps in reasoning models, agentic systems, and intelligent robotics, that 60% covers highly complex cognitive tasks and even unstructured physical work. The automation frontier hasn't just moved, it has radically expanded.
Section 1. The AI productivity paradox. So this brings us to a really fascinating contradiction. We've got this huge disconnect between the unbelievable technological capabilities of AI right now and the sluggish, kind of underwhelming reality most organizations are actually dealing with. Companies are throwing AI at absolutely everything, but very few are seeing a real bottom-line impact. Why? Well, the core problem is that we're using the totally wrong mental model. We have to continually contrast the old paradigm of treating software as just a passive tool with the new paradigm of treating AI agents as an active workforce. Think about it. For decades, software was just there to support you. You ask a chatbot a question, it gives you an answer, and then you go do the actual work. But now, with new agentic skills, AI can execute complex sequences of tasks, it can maintain context, and it can follow enterprise-specific rules. It's no longer just a helpful tool to assist you. It's a digital worker that actually executes workflows.
And honestly, this perfectly illustrates why progress has stalled out for so many. 80% of organizations are stuck simply using generative AI chatbots. They're just wedging AI into existing human-centric workflows, treating it exactly like that passive tool we just talked about. Meanwhile, almost zero organizations have built truly agentic organizations, where hybrid teams of humans and AI are executing completely reinvented workflows across the company. Basically, we're trying to bolt a jet engine onto a horse-drawn carriage and then wondering why we aren't breaking the sound barrier, you know?
Section 2. The institutional trust crisis. Now, this clumsy incremental adoption isn't just bad for business efficiency. It's creating a much broader societal fallout that we really need to dig into. Because when you force outdated operating models onto incredibly fast-moving tech, things start to break down at a macro level. If we just blindly automate everything we currently do, we run the risk of completely wiping out early career and junior roles in crucial fields. Think law, journalism, or software engineering. And doing that completely destroys the traditional apprenticeship pathways we rely on to build our future experts. Plus, if we aren't careful, these AI systems just become opaque accountability sinks. That happens when automated decisions are made, say in public services or criminal justice, but no human can actually step up and explain the reasoning behind them. That heavily erodes democratic trust and our shared factual ground. And on top of all that, we run the real risk of amplifying existing biases and driving cultural homogenization, where AI systems trained mostly on majority data systematically exclude marginalized languages and cultures.
So, how do we navigate these institutional challenges safely? It requires a completely new playbook, especially when we're talking about governments and public services. To make sure human well-being is actually served, we have to insist on rigorous, transparent evaluation of these AI models, both before and after they go live. And we absolutely need strict procurement rules. We cannot just buy AI the way we buy basic spreadsheet software. We need third-party evaluators, really clear lines of liability, and open communication with the public about data governance so we can prevent those accountability sinks from ever forming in the first place.
Section 3. The Symbiotic Enterprise. All right, this brings us to the radical solution for both that productivity paradox and the trust crisis. We have to tear down our old workflows and rebuild them from first principles. We need to create what's known as the Symbiotic Enterprise. This is an operating model where humans, AI agents, and intelligent robots all contribute based on what they're actually best at. A brilliant microstory from the research is the two-shift software factory. It goes like this. In step 1, human developers take the day shift. They set the architectural direction, figure out the complex logic, and enforce quality standards. Then they log off. Step 2 begins. A highly coordinated team of AI agents takes over for the night shift, writing code, testing it, and optimizing at massive scale. Then, step 3 happens the very next morning. The humans come back, grab their coffee, and review and validate the ready-to-go pull requests. It's this continuous 24-hour cycle of seamless handoffs that completely reinvents how work actually gets done. And it's crucial to realize the symbiotic approach is absolutely escaping the screen and entering the physical world.
Just look at Amazon's Deep Fleet. They're using foundation models to dynamically route thousands of warehouse robots around congestion in real time. The robots are out there, perceiving, reasoning, and adapting to unstructured environments on the fly. And meanwhile, the human teams working alongside them, their focus shifts entirely away from repetitive physical lifting and moves towards supervising and coordinating the broader system.
Section 4. Redefining the human role. But right here is where we hit a massive roadblock. As AI takes over the actual execution of the work, we have to fundamentally resolve how the human element fits into this new operating model. Honestly, this is exactly why so many AI change management initiatives just fail completely. They totally ignore professional identity. The human role is shifting radically away from producing the work and moving towards supervising and directing the execution. Going forward, humans are largely going to fall into 3 distinct categories: integrative supervisors, orchestrating hybrid teams; deep specialists handling the weird edge cases and ambiguity; and AI-enabled frontline workers focusing on empathy and human trust. But let's be real about what this actually means for the workforce. When your entire professional identity is wrapped up in being the hands-on creator, you're the one writing the code, drafting the legal brief, or building the model, shifting to a supervisory role can actually feel like a demotion. It fundamentally threatens your traditional locus of autonomy. AI adoption stalls right here because of these profound identity threats. People don't just need to learn new software skills, they need real help redefining their professional value in a world where AI is doing the heavy lifting. As we navigate that incredibly tricky workforce transition, leaders have to be super careful not to just trade one problem for another. Because as our traditional competitive advantages, things like workforce scale and coordination complexity, start to erode, a brand new strategic dependency is emerging. We call this the cognitive tax. This is the very real risk of paying a heavy, ongoing toll to a highly concentrated little group of AI infrastructure and cloud providers. Think about it. If you aren't building proprietary intelligence, your own agent skills, and your own customer control points, your entire enterprise essentially just becomes a thin wrapper around someone else's intelligence model. So I want to leave you with a final provocative thought for this explainer. Are you right now merely optimizing a pre-AI enterprise? Just sort of embedding chatbots into old workflows until an AI-native competitor eventually comes along and erodes your economics? Or are you actually ready to tear down those old ways of working, tackle those identity threats head-on, and start building a truly symbiotic organization? Because the winners in this new era, they aren't going to be the ones who just deploy the most AI. They're going to be the ones who reinvent their operating models the fastest. Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive.